Hello, good evening to you and welcome to News 360. It's live from the News Hub here at Adisawe Kanda. I'm Natalie Fort.
And my name is Alfred Okanse. Coming up in the bulletin tonight.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxipaid.
Ministry of Education says it will not suspend teacher licensing policy.
And parliamentary committee investigating death of 70-year-old Prince Anthony Opoku-Acheampong starts work.
Motor accidents in the Ashanti region claim 174 lives between January and May alone this year.
The number of remand prisoners declined by 7% over the past 11 years.
And on the foreign front, Ugandan wins African prize for new malaria testing technique.
Okay, so yeah, the gentleman is just walking in now.
Yes.
Sharing a right moment tonight here as we get into the World Cup moments.
Yes, of course, it's the World Cup moments,
Yes.
and already some of the goals that are flying in are contenders for the goal of the season already. And of course, the 2018 World Cup has been opened in Russia. Host country Russia beat Saudi Arabia by 5-0 in the opening game. And we are going to be looking at the details, but just know that, the likes of Denis Cheryshev got a brace in that particular game. The second, absolutely sublime, again, the Saudi Arabia goalkeeper. It wasn't exactly, the most entertaining game, but of course, the goals involved
Saudi Arabia
makes it special.
5 goals.
Saudi Arabia is known for some things, but not football.
But
Behave
that's
yourself,
not,
Alfred.
I'm not saying, I mean, it's
I
not
was
their
expected.
stronghold.
Yeah.
Really.
But of course, we'll be back bringing a lot of details to this particular story right here on News 360. So just don't go anywhere.
Absolutely, and that's the reason why.
All right, so the 2018 World Cup opened in spectacular fashion as Russia defied their recent poor form to smash 5 past Saudi Arabia and record the biggest win by the host nation in the opening game of a World Cup since 1934. In front of a packed Luzhniki Stadium, Denis Cheryshev scored 2 goals, while Alexander Golovin curled a free kick around the wall to complete the 5-0 drubbing in the first game. So hopefully there is more, poor defending to come and more goals it means, and that's exactly what we live for the World Cup.
And some good news to look up to
Quite
because we're
exciting.
told that, Mohamed Salah will make it for the
Yeah,
Egypt.
that's
back
tomorrow.
on. Yes.
That's tomorrow.
Amazing stuff.
That's
That's what I
tomorrow.
wanted to
Very
hear.
exciting. Thanks,
Thank
Terry.
you.
So I'll be back.
Yeah, it's going to come back with a lot more in the world
Absolutely.
of sports later on.
Certainly. Thanks, Theory, so much for that. You're still live here on News 360. Now, Russia 2018 kick-started today, and TV3 News team hits the streets of Accra earlier in the day to find out people's moods and the expectations about the tournament, although Ghana is not participating.
The most surprises I want to see is from Africa, because I'm an African. And I would be happy if Nigeria can do it better. The little friendly matches I've seen with my eye, I think they can do better.
Egypt, because of Mohamed Salah. Today is Salah. And that's the African team that I believe is supposed to win. Automatically, they will reach the semi-final. And I think even the president will support Egypt. I know.
I'm not a football fan, but I know that there are many people participating, Russia, Brazil, and so on. They are in the football World Cup. But me, the people that I want them to win is Nigeria, because I want our president to have shame that our people are going to win. Our president won't give a shame, say we go win. Not be so joke. I dey talk about Buhari, so we are going to win. So Buhari go even there surprise, the way we go carry the cup, come back.
I hear about Senegal, I hear about how you go to Nigeria. Which country again? Is Egypt in? No, Egypt or something. I don't know about all the countries. I'm a football fan, but for the moment, I don't know about all the countries.
It's very painful that my own beloved country is out of this tournament. But I prefer Nigeria will do better. I like Nigeria to go for it so that West Africa will be proud.
I'll go in for Morocco because they have a good coach who know what he's doing. So I'll go in for Morocco. When it comes to their performance, I think Morocco will do well.
Country and Kamitana Egypt because of Mohamed Salah.
Chairman wants Nigeria to win to shame Buhari. I wonder how that works. But away from World Cup, the Ministry of Education is saying it will not suspend the teacher licensing policy as demanded by the aggrieved teacher unions. Head of Public Relations, Ekon Vincent, says the concerns of the unions with regard to the 220 Ghana cedis levy will be resolved before the policy is rolled out next month. Meanwhile, the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, says it will resist any attempt to push the policy through without their input.
The first teacher licensing exams was written in 1938. However, the writing of the exams were suspended after independence. Its reintroduction is now gaining stiffer resistance from the various teacher unions. The unions complained about the lack of adequate consultation by the sector ministry. As part of the licensing, trainee teachers are required to pay 220 cedis to write exams for a provisional certificate. That, the various teacher unions say, would be too much for trainee teachers. The Ministry of Education has agreed to therefore resolve the concerns of the teachers.
It is a replication of what was happening before independence. And so, as I said, it is not the first time we are introducing this. If you look at the medical profession, they write exams based on medicine. If you look at the law profession, they write exams based on law profession. I think that I will have to admonish the teacher unions. They are doing well. Admonish them to, as it were, make sure that they engage the Ministry of Education further.
But one of the unions, the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, maintains there should be a total suspension of the exercise.
We are asking the teacher trainees that they should not pay 1 peso to anybody, and they should hold on participating in these exams until such a time that we conclude discussions with the minister and all stakeholders. The exercise should be suspended.
The sector ministry, however, rejected their stance.
The 3 papers, each one will cost about 50 Ghana cedis. So that is about 150 cedis. Now, the 70 cedis will be, as it were, divided over the invigilation, because you are supposed to hire people to invigilate the exams. We are supposed to also hire people to mark their exams. We are also going to have some sort of a mock exams for them. So some selected schools are going to have trial tests of what is going to happen on the 26th of July. And so we are supposed to make sure that the students who are going to sit for that trial test or that mock exams, if you like, all those costs are being catered for.
NAGRAT recorded a meeting on May 29, which was to resolve their issues but failed. It has implored the ministry to incorporate the licensing policy in their conditions of service.
And let's turn to the health sector now, as the Minister of Health, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, says a committee has been set up to investigate the death of a 70-year-old man who was refused medical attention at 7 hospitals in Accra. Kweku Agyeman-Manu also gave reasons why some health facilities are yet to be opened to the public. The Minister of Health, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, indicated all health facilities have been instructed to stop refusing patients.
I've requested a Director General to write to all health facilities to stop that thing immediately.
Concerning the death of the 70-year-old man, he explained that the Ministry of Health will come out with a comprehensive report.
We have set up a committee that is going around, looking at information, doing investigations for us to see what actually happened and what things that we shouldn't have done happened, and let us identify those who did that. I've sent a good group from the ministry to go to the bereaved family, and they've given us a chronology of what had happened that night to the man.
On completed but non-functional health facilities, the Minister of Health admitted the delay could be attributed to the lack of interagency and interministerial collaboration.
They were done as a component of the roles that they were doing. When they finished, nobody knows what happened. They were left there for 8 good years, nobody asked any question. This was brought to a notice just about last 2 or 3 weeks. So Ministry of Roads or whoever put up the facilities never even informed the ministry or, how do I call it, Ghana Health Service. And that is why interagency or ministerial collaboration is always very, very necessary.
Kweku Agyemang Menu said the matter is being looked into.
And from our engagement with the Ministry of Roads, I think the contractor even didn't hand over those facilities to the Ministry of Roads as well. We need equipment, we need to do some refurbishment to the buildings, we need to staff the place. For now, we've identified about 7 of them, such facilities.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Medical Association has challenged government to improve emergency care as a way of solving the no-bed syndrome. A statement in response to the directive saying no government health institution should turn away patients over no-bed excuse. The Ghana Medical Association says the problem facing medical institutions is both largely systemic and, in some cases, attributable to individual factors. The association is calling on the Ministry of Health to implement the Accident Emergency Service Guidelines of 2011. The statement further said, while frontline workers may be culpable in some situations, a lot of the problems that bedevil emergency room care and services are systematic. The Ghana Medical Association says it would prefer the joint committee set up to investigate this matter will unravel the circumstance that resulted in the death of the 70-year-old man and subsequently identify and recommend instituting specific measures to improve emergency care. Well, certainly a very worrying situation there. What makes this even more worrying is that some hospitals have been established and infrastructure-wise and resource-wise they are completed. However, they've not been opened to the public. And that's the reason that the minister is giving. I'm going to run us by some of these hospitals that haven't been exposed or been being used by the public, been open to the public, unused completed health facilities. Now, Tetegu Chips compound, that's now been occupied by squatters. So it's not been used for so long that, as you see, it's been occupied by squatters and the facility is not being used as a health center. The University of Ghana Medical Center, quite well known there, it's been partly open to the public and it's to be opened to the public fully, it's been said, by July 2018. Now, other health facilities that have been completed but have not been used and open to the public is the Teshi Chips compound worth 320,000 Ghana cedis, and it hasn't been used since the year 2016. And in addition, to top of the list, there is the Ofankor Health Center, Medical Center, which also hasn't been opened to the public. And the question is, what makes this extremely worrying? The health centers are available, they're completed infrastructure-wise, resource-wise, a number of them are resourced as well, but it hasn't been open for the public to use, leading to such deaths like we saw earlier. Alfred.
Situation, the health minister sought to give some explanation to why the situation is. But the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health is saying it has started investigations into the no-bed syndrome at the 7 hospitals that were alleged to have refused a 70-year-old man medical attention, which consequently resulted in his death. The chairman of the committee, Dr. Kwabena Chum Nneoma, says the hospitals have been given a week to present their side of the story for onward investigations.
The death of 70-year-old Prince Antonio Pokwe Champong sparked public outrage. Prince Antonio Pokwe Champong, according to the family, was refused admission at 7 hospitals visited in Accra with the excuse there was no bed for him. The matter also attracted outcry from the representatives of the People Parliament. The Speaker tasked a joint committee on health and constitutional, legal and parliamentary affairs to investigate and report back to the House in 2 weeks. Chairman of the Health Committee, Dr. Kwabena Chum Nneoma, said their investigations have started.
They will give them a week to furnish us with the report on the instance where we will be able to know what really happened. What we were told, I should say, were account of the patient's relatives, the son and the wife. We need to hear the side of the institutions involved, and then from there we will know which people to call within the institutions. We also speak with the relatives of our late compatriots. We are also we've written to Medical and Dental Council, who regulates medical practice, to give us an account in their opinion whether the doctors involved in the issue acted in, professionally or within the confines of the law. We've also done same to Nurse and Military Council.
He hopes their recommendations will help change the no-bed excuse frequently used by hospital authorities to deny the sick medical attention.
The legal aspect, these professionals are regulated. We have the laws that regulate the practice of medicine in Ghana. Is it adequate to actually protect the citizens from, if you like, unscrupulous professionals in that area? We will look at all that so that if there is the need to even amend the existing laws to try and make it stricter, so as to serve as a check on the conduct of these professionals. I think the joint committee will look into all that.
Dr. Kwabena Norma was optimistic his team would be able to work within the 2-week grace period given them by the Speaker. If not, they will seek for more time.
We'll certainly stay on that and bring you more on it subsequently. But in some other news this evening, road crashes have claimed 174 lives in the Ashanti region between January and May this year. The figure is a 39% increase on fatalities recorded in the region within the same period last year. Here's reports by Beatrice Spiogabra. A total of 125 deaths were recorded between January and May of 2017. The accident cases involved 642 commercial vehicles, a jump to 893 within the same period this year. Ashanti Regional Planning Officer of the National Road Safety Commission, Emmanuel Parry, expressed concern at the rising number of road crashes despite increased public road safety awareness exercises. He acknowledged the need for a holistic research to unearth critical factors leading to road fatalities.
The National Road Safety Commission and the major stakeholders are doing their best to reduce road traffic crash, but yet still the problem is still increasing. And what the National Road Safety Commission will now do is to this time evaluate all the policies that comes out and know the ones which are more effective, so that we gear all our resources towards that one to ensure a drastic reduction of the road traffic crashes.
Emmanuel Parry told TV3 the Road Safety Commission has intensified its education at commercial transport terminals. He advised drivers plying the roads at night and at dawn to be extra cautious and ensure their vehicles are roadworthy. Vehicles should all have reflective gadgets to make them visible to oncoming vehicles. Emmanuel Parry encouraged passengers to be bold and speak up when drivers are reckless or drive at excessive speed.
On our MTN video report tonight, our citizen journalist says Abdul Ahmed highlights the poor state of the Bimbila Road.
It's a road that links Bimbila to other communities such as Jilo, Kukuo, and Chichai. It is very unfortunate that the bridge that is on the road was destroyed by a heavy rainstorm last year. But since then, the government and the authorities in the district haven't taken any action against it. There is a path that is created for the people to take. When it is flooded, where are they going to pass? We are calling on the government and the authority to help us in constructing this bridge. This is Say Abdul Amin reporting for TV3. Bimbila.
Pretty worrying development then. We hope that as we show this, the authorities will respond to this speedily. But you can also send your video report via WhatsApp number 055-1433-044, 055-1433-044. We'll be back shortly after this quick break. Still live here on News 360.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for some business news. And Director of Multilateral, Regional and Bilateral Trade at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Anthony Nyame Bafi, has responded to several concerns about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Mr. Bafi assures stakeholders that government will ensure the competitive advantage of Ghana. He was speaking to our reporter Nyong Falong in Accra.
In March, 44 African heads of state and government officials met in Kigali, Rwanda, to sign the framework to establish the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, AFCFTA. Under AFCFTA, countries will remove tariffs on 90% of goods. The AFCFTA will come into effect 30 days after ratification by the parliaments of at least 22 countries. Ghana was the second country to ratify the agreement in April. Several concerns have since been raised by stakeholders and analysts concerning the competitive advantage of local industries and the extent of consultation that went into the ratification of this agreement. Speaking to these concerns, Director of Multilateral and Bilateral Trade at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Anthony Nyame Bafi, explained that government has plans to hold further engagements to determine sensitive and exclusive goods, which will be scrutinized alongside ECOWAS and AU trade guidelines before the 90% trade is declared. He disclosed that government will revamp the industrial sector to improve the value chain of Ghanaian businesses, as well as lower production costs of industries prior to free trade.
What sectors are we looking at strengthening to be able to benefit from this agreement?
Agro processing, because we have a lot of raw materials that we need to add value. And we think that when we do that, that will improve the value chain and then create more jobs. It will enable those companies already that have been approved to export under the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme to launch further to other African markets.
Mr. Nyame added that the Ministry of Trade has a priority agenda to ensure competitive advantage, although he agreed a lot of work lies ahead to prepare the Ghanaian business scene. He assured Ghanaians that the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is an economic decision that will catapult trade revenues of Ghana.
Now, a study by the International Finance Corporation on gender diversity in Ghanaian boardrooms has revealed that 72% of boards surveyed did not have female representation. The study also revealed that 78% of organizations did not have a policy on gender representation to guide selection for top management and board positions.
The study, Gender Diversity in Ghanaian Boardrooms, was carried out by the University of Ghana Business School with the objective of examining the nature of gender diversity in public and private sector boards in Ghana. The findings revealed that 72% of 162 boards surveyed did not have female representation, and the gender diversity of boards, that is the proportion of female to board members, ranged from 1 to 6. 24% of boards composed of only males, thus 1 of every 4 boards have no female representation. Also, 49% of women on boards were non-executive directors, and only 6% of organizations have females as board chairs. At the launch of the key findings of the study, panelists underscored the need to improve the presence of females on boards because it provides role models and pacesetters that younger females can look up to.
There is a genuine apprehension that the positions are few. Women have been enjoying it for so long. The more women you bring, the less men there will be. Whereas women multitask and can find many things to do, men do not generally multitask.
In Ghana, we have a very deep-rooted cultural bias. It's always been okay for women to be consulted in camera, and then the man appears to be making the decision. So a lot of the time, the men know that the women have certain skills that they need, that they are better decision makers in certain areas, they would prefer to consult them and then be the ones to show that they have the ideas. We have to find ways of breaking this cultural bias.
When I need some work to do in a short time, I just need to plug calls of numbers and they'll deliver. And most of them are ladies, you know, but very sharp. So I don't see age as an issue. It's more about, are we giving the ladies opportunities? Are we giving them the exposure? Are we giving them a chance?
I've been on boards. You go and sit down, and several times there are important matters to discuss, and the men are talking about the last trip they went and the Swiss and the wine and the girls. And it's bothersome. You say, gentlemen, we are here for a meeting, shall we? Oh, Mrs. Campbell, shutting you up because you are trying to get us to the point.
The study recommends organizations to aim to develop gender policies for top management and board-level positions that ensure a good balance between males and females.
Well, from women in leadership, let's turn to agriculture, as the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, has presented the ultimate prize to the 2017 National Best Farmer at a ceremony in Accra. The 2017 National Best Farmer, Philip Kweku Ajiman, received an amount of $100,000.
Of Food and Agriculture, in collaboration with the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, has officially handed over the ultimate prize of $100,000 to the 2017 National Best Farmer, Philip Kweku Ajiman. Philip Kweku Ajiman, who hails from the Doma West District Assembly of the Brong Ahafo region, was adjudged for the top prize for being named the nation's best farmer in 2017 after 20 years of active farming. Traditionally, the bank awards a 3-bedroom house to winners. However, in consultation with stakeholders, it has decided to give a listening ear to the concerns of farmers by rather offering $100,000 CD equivalent for their productive use. The managing director of ADB reiterated the bank's commitment for the agricultural sector of the country.
We are moving from London through on the N1, going to places like Milton Keynes. Left and right, you see very large farms. And these are the backbone of the economy of UK. You see UK like that is agriculture. And we are even more endowed with land than UK and some of these advanced countries. So there is no mean fact that the way to go is to push agriculture for the development of this country.
The 2017 Best Farmer promised to make productive use of the money to improve his farm.
And on that note, we round up the business news here on News 360 this evening. But visit our website, it's 3news.com, for some more business stories. On to you, Alfred.
Now, to some other stories. The dismissed CEO of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GEPA, that's Gifty Clenham, is being probed by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO, over alleged financial impropriety during her tenure. Documents published in the media reveal that the former CEO took a whopping 27,000 Ghana cedis as clothing allowance and 8,000 Ghana cedis for furnishing in May 2017. That's more in the following report. It is alleged that a total amount of 93,300 Ghana cedis was splashed on 6 senior officials of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, including the fired CEO in May 2017, plus 40,000 Ghana cedis to take care of their furnishing in the same month. Also, the former Member of Parliament directed the Finance Department of the State Export Promoter to pay her and her deputy a whopping $132,000, equivalent to 580,800 Ghana cedis, as a 2-year advance rent in total violation of the public service rules. According to a letter dated May 22, 2017, which was jointly signed by the ex-CEO and her deputy Eric Chum Amwako, the managing director of First Atlantic Bank was directed to transfer the cedi equivalent of $132,000 from an account number 03605711011014 and credit same to the account number 03605711011025 for the transaction. The allegations, according to Gifty Clenham, are a concussion and aimed at tarnishing her image and to make nonsense of everything she has done since the assumption of office. Let's just say a bit further on this. Adam Senano is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Mr. Senano, thank you for your time. Good evening to you. Now, we know that the Economic and Organized Crime Office is looking into this institution. What do you expect to be EOCO's scope of investigations into this case?
Well, I would expect that EOCO would take the facts that have been given to them and go and do an in-house search of what exactly has transpired during this period of administration, and find out whether any of the public sector protocols that exist on these issues have been breached. So they will be taking what exists as the protocols that must be followed regarding allowances and things privileges that must be enjoyed by such officials, and establish whether there has been a breach in this instance. And so that's what would be happening.
Now, you know, these are allegations, I mean, at this stage for now, as we also do independent checks to verify some of these figures we're getting. But does it worry you from the anti-corruption perspective that continuously you have such cases of alleged corruption being leveled against government officials, even though there's an investigation that comes out to sometimes clear them and others also implicate them?
No, on the contrary, I think it is important that we have such, information being made and robust responses coming from the presidency. I think it's a good trend, such that people don't begin to think that they are indispensable and can do things with impunity. I think this rather strengthens the fight against corruption, because individuals who are given these kinds of responsibilities will recognize that at any time they may be called upon to account for what they have done in terms of their period of administration.
Would you agree with those who say that yes, these allegations are made, investigations are done, and then they are cleared of any wrongdoing? Would you want to see any form of punishment being meted out to anybody who is found culpable to serve as a deterrent to others in this particular instance?
Well, I mean, until we can verify the facts of this particular instance, one cannot say that one should find someone culpable. I think that Madam Gifty has, as it were, countered what has come out and said that they have been fabricated. It's important that somebody goes in and is able to validate the facts that have been adduced to this point and tell us whether indeed there has been some protocol, some rule, some thing that has been breached. And from that perspective, then the necessary public sector sanction measures can then be put in place.
So I would want to say thank you very much for your time this evening. I'm being very grateful. Adam Senano is a co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, joining us on Skype.
Certainly, Alfred. Let's take a look at some more news this evening, as prison officials say there has been a 17% decline in the number of remand prisoners over the past 11 years. Acting Chief Legal Officer of Ghana Prison Service, Amos Kwabena Entry, disclosed this at a news conference in Accra.
Ghana has 43 prisons with an authorized holding capacity of 9,875. Two of the prisons, namely Jamestown and Ashford prisons, serving Accra, have been closed down, leading to overcrowding in the Nsawam medium security prisons.
If somebody is sentenced to 6 months and you send that person to a medium security prison where a lot of hardened criminals are there, definitely there will be contamination. And by the time that person comes out, the person is now a worse person.
Remand prisoners, according to prisons officers, constitute to the increasing number of inmates at the various prisons. Some of these inmates have been on remand custody and have had justice not served them for years due to issues of missing docket, change of prosecutor and holidays, among other systematic failures. The Acting Chief Legal Officer of Ghana Prisons Service, Amos Kwabena Entry, said prisons in Ghana still face overcrowding because there has not been any conscious effort to expand them. He said the number of remand prisoners had declined from 30% in 2007 to 13% in 2018. He attributed this to the Justice for All program, adding that a tracking system had been developed to deal with the issue of lost dockets.
GIMPA, in collaboration with the prison service, is making this automation system for all image data to be computerized, so that we know who is in our custody, we know when you are going out, and if you are coming back as a recidivist or an ex-convict who has gone to commit another offense, we will be able to know.
The African Women Lawyers Association, under the Justice for All program, has launched a toll-free number to be used by relatives of remand prisoners to access justice. This service, which will be in operation for 3 months, serves clients using 4 languages.
If you are calling from Greater Accra region, press 1. For Ashanti region, press 2. For mention the prison where your friend or relative is detained and tell us why he or she is detained. Hang up when you finish talking.
The chairperson for African Women Lawyers Association, Betty Mould Idrisu, indicated the association's commitment to contribute to redress the country's legal system failures.
We need to educate Ghanaians as a whole. We need to empower them, and we need to mobilize Ghanaians to access the Justice to All program. You never know when it can happen to any of you or your relatives.
The toll-free number 030-7084-567 can be accessed nationwide.
You're still live here on News 360. We've got some more sports news coming up for you shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back to News 360. On the international front this evening, a pretty exciting development. A Ugandan inventor has won a major prize for a device which tests for malaria without drawing blood. Now, Brian Jita, 24, won the Royal Academy of Engineering's Africa Prize for a device that detects telltale signs of malaria by shining a red beam of light on the patient's finger. The diagnosis is ready to be shared to a mobile phone in a minute. He developed the device called Mati Babu after blood tests failed to diagnose his own malaria. Mati Babu, which means treatment in Swahili, clips onto a patient's finger and does not require a specialist to operate. Its red beam can detect changes in the color, shape and concentration of red blood cells, all of which are affected by malaria. His team hopes the device can one day be used as a way to better detect malaria across the continent. In the meantime, Mati Babu team are currently writing an academic paper on their findings and have been approached by international researchers offering support.
Well, Google has announced it is to open its first African Artificial Intelligence Research Center in Ghana later this year. Google boss Sundar Pichai said the multinational was really looking forward to opening the center. The center will open later this year in Accra. The company said in an official statement the Accra office will also join similar research centers in places like Paris, Tel Aviv, and of course, San Francisco. So more news on 3news.com. Let's now go for some entertainment news.
Hi there, good evening. Let's do some entertainment news. Now today we probe further to seek some answers to whether music does pay. Singer Yaya says venturing into music is one of the best things that ever happened to her. According to the Live composer, she used proceeds from her performances to fund her university education.
Speaking to TV3's entertainment desk, Yaya explained that she used income from performances to pay her fees at the University of Ghana, where she studied theatre arts.
To some extent, yes, because for my university education, I paid my way through university with my music money.
Really?
Through shows, through deals with other companies and all that.
Touching on the significance of investment, the former winner of music reality show Stars of the Future encouraged musicians to make judicious use of their income.
Music is seasonal, really. There are seasons where shows come in, there are seasons that shows don't come in. So for the period where you're not getting shows, what are you doing? So in the same vein, even though you're a musician, you could find other things on the side that you do. It's a great advice that people who come into the music industry should realize how valuable it is, how big it is, and it can pay you, but you also have to be smart. Do other things aside the music so that it can also generate money for you. And if you're looking at being wealthy, that's the wisest way to go about it. Invest in a lot of money-making ventures so that you can grow your wealth.
Born Bertha Bridget Kankam, the Kai composer was one of the only 2 Ghanaian performers at the 2018 annual Multicultural Africa Day event held in Hamburg, Germany. To Yaya, it felt great, entertaining over 15,000 revelers at the festival.
It's overwhelming to see that number of people. There were in thousands. It was a new experience. Yes, you perform at the National Theatre in big spaces and you get, you know, that kind of audience, but this was a different feel. Last year I was in Austria, but the numbers were lesser than this. So it was really, really an awakening for me as an artist.
Still staying with women in the entertainment business. Now, it takes willpower, passion and resilience for females to make a mark in the male-dominated professions. A 21-year-old UK-based Ghanaian music video producer and director, Sila Owusu, is making inroads into the music video market. Owusu Warai has been speaking to the promising talent.
She is young, strong-willed and passion-driven. Born in the UK 21 years ago, Sila Owusu made her first attempt at producing and directing a music video at age 18.
From working with other directors, I eventually realized that I also am very creative and I also want to direct, as I believe I can bring something different to the table, and which is what I'm currently doing now.
The rising star has spent the last 2 years injecting creativity into her works and seizing the opportunity to shine.
My motivation being is that, well, first of all, I really enjoy what I do, number one. And number two, I don't see a lot of women. Since I started, I realized that a lot of people would message me and would say, oh, I'm so inspired, how did you start? I'm motivated to do X, Y, Z. So it kind of feels like people are counting on me, and it's nice to know that people can look at me and see the representation that they would like to see.
She was 14, I was 15. Me and Habibi had some big dreams, but we got lost up in the city. Oh, do you think about me?
Sila has produced amazing videos for acclaimed musicians including Fuse ODG, Nigeria's YC, Mr. Easy, and one of the East Africa's biggest music exports, Diamond Platinums.
She makes me say hallelujah.
I just want to see myself creating more work. It's not necessarily about being famous or working with the biggest artists. It's just about creating the best work. With me, I would like to call myself someone that's very organized. So usually what I do is whenever I'm directing and producing, depending on the size of the shoot, I would have a production manager. But I would have already sorted everything out to make the production manager's job easier.
Her other projects include 640 by Kwalkesi and Wame by Stormboy featuring Casper Newvest.
And through my work, I just like to listen to the actual song, try and create a concept that situates around that song, but not be typical. So just try and be a bit different. And overall, I would just like to say that my work is very clean, and I think clean is always best. So that's probably what makes my work unique towards others.
The self-inspired director looks forward to working with some of Ghana's top music stars. The director wants women to brave the elements and dare to be the best regardless of their fields of endeavor.
Talk less and do more, because as a woman, people already think that you're stupid in terms of you don't know what you're doing, you're not as smart, you're not as qualified. So just let your work actually do the talking. When I meet people, I don't actually introduce myself and tell them what I do. I just say, my name is Silla or my name is Priscilla. And it's only after when I start speaking to them and they see, oh wow, you actually do all of this, it makes them respect me more. So talk less and do more, and people respect you.
Stella says, talk less, do more. And that notes, that's about it for entertainment news tonight. There's more news on the 3news.com website. My name is Miriam. Hi, Alfred. Nice tie.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's good you complimented. Why? What are you looking at?
I'm just looking. It's not bad.
You saw this. You didn't say
bad.
this all this while. She said it. It's worth it. Thank you,
Thanks,
Miriam. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. George is saying something I can't hear, but on behalf of the rest of the team, I want to say thank you. My name is Alfred Okansi.
I'm Natalie Forbes. Visit our website. It's 3news.com for some more news. Remember, news at 10 will simulcast on our sister station. It's 3FM 92.7. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening.